Hi, love. Welcome back. So, when you start dating someone new, it's really easy to ignore red flags because you think this person is so perfect and they may just have this little tiny little thing, problem that you see that may not be what you were looking for, or you sort of see it, but either you're in denial or it's not fully shown to you just yet, but you can sense it. You have this intuition and you know there's something not quite right with the situation and the behavior of this other person. And it may be easy to ignore these red flags right now, but you should not ignore them, and you should never ignore red flags. These are things that you should definitely put more attention to and start focusing more on what's really going on. Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Lylian and I help boss ladies fall in love with themselves so that they can attract their dream partner. And if you're new here, please make sure that you subscribe and you hit the bell so you get notified when I post a video every Monday. So in this video, I compile 7 of the red flags that you should never ignore. And I have seen them in my previous relationships. These are some of the things that I wish someone had told me, or at least guide me in the right direction, and have sort of shown to me that this wasn't healthy, this wasn't right. Even if it sort of seems like it's normal, it really is not. So I hope this helps you if you are in a toxic relationship or you're seeing things that with the men that you're dating that is not quite right. So this can guide you and help you in figuring out what this really is and if you should leave that relationship and move on. So let's start. Number 1, be wary of a man who speaks negatively about his mother. This is especially true in the beginning. If he talks negatively about his mother, you should run. Because if he sees her in a negative lens, it's more possibly that he's gonna see you in that same lens. When people have trauma or have childhood issues, they seem to bring them back in their relationships once they become adults. You should definitely be concerned if this person doesn't talk. I mean, if there may be issues between him and his family, it doesn't matter. He still should never talk negatively about his mother, especially in the beginning of that relationship. I mean, he doesn't know you. Why should he express those feelings with you, right? So start thinking as to what's behind all this. Is he nagging? Which is also not very attractive, but that's something that maybe you can deal with. But if someone is talking negatively about their mother especially, I find that that's a sign of something deeper, something worse that they haven't dealt with, and it's not something you want to be involved in. So run. Number 2, he's rude to the waiter or the waitress in your first dates. I haven't actually personally had that experience, but I feel like if someone is rude to someone who's serving them, someone who is not beneath them, but is someone who is there in service, it says something about you, right? So watch out for that. I don't think you would leave feeling great after the date if someone was rude to another person. I mean, there may be reasons why, but there's no need to act with disrespect or any kind of negative energy around you, especially that you guys are just starting dating. He should be in his best behavior. So if he's already showing that to you, then that's definitely a sign that you should just cut that off. Okay, so number 3, he makes fun of his friends who are married or in a committed relationship. So this tells you where his mind is at, where he sees his future in a sense. So if he is not looking for a committed relationship, a marriage, and he makes, he's consciously making fun of it, then that is showing you that he's not ready for commitment. He's not ready for marriage. And if you are, you definitely do not want to stay in this relationship. So this is a big red flag. People who make fun of a committed relationship or marriage probably has the Peter Pan syndrome. So if you're a woman looking for a serious relationship, this is a guy that you should definitely avoid and break that off as soon as possible. Comment below if you have experienced any of these red flags, if you've seen it in the past, in your past relationships, or maybe in the guy that you're dating at this moment. So number 4, he does not prioritize you in his life. So he says he's a busy guy with a very, very busy schedule and can't seem to plan things with you and leaves everything to the last minute. If you guys actually see each other, then it's usually like Friday night that he calls you, or Saturday morning, or just the last minute type of plans, which that says something about him. That says that he does not have the time for you and he will never prioritize you, and you may not be as important to him. So why would you stay in a relationship like that, where you know this is not what you want, this is not the relationship that you're looking for? You want someone who is going to be there for you and who has the time and who is going to prioritize you in his life. So number 5, he is verbally abusive. And it could start very, very subtle. Little things that he says that you notice that are not very nice. They may be mean-spirited. Start looking into that, because it could be a sign that he could also be physically abusive. And this is why women who are in abusive relationships don't realize this until later on, once they're very involved in the relationship that they are with a abusive person, because it's a slow process. It's not something that he does one time and it's like a blown out dramatic thing. No, it's a slow thing. It happens slowly, and once you realize this is happening, that's when you're so involved in the relationship. You are basically he makes you fall in love with him, right? And once you are in love with him, it is so hard to pull yourself out. So this is something critical, that once you see the first sign of any type of abusive behavior, that you end that relationship, because it will not bring you anything good. Number 6, a man with an addictive personality. He may be an amazing man, but his addiction will always be a problem between the two of you. So be careful as to who you end up falling in love with. It could be an addiction to drugs, which obviously is not great. An addiction to alcohol, an addiction to gambling. It could even be an addiction to food. People who have a food addiction, they struggle a lot. If you see any signs of that, it can be a problem. I'm not saying that people can come out of that and get themselves healthy. Obviously, it happens every single day. But just be aware that if this man has any type of addiction, it's going to follow you guys for the rest of the relationship. So just know that if there is something that you just can't handle, make sure that you cut it off and you end that relationship if it's not something that you want for your life. So make sure that you are aware of what you are getting yourself into, because this could affect you financially, this could affect your well-being, this could affect your family if you guys do decide to have a family. So just be fully aware what exactly you are getting into with this man. So if you see any of these signs, this is something that you definitely need to think about if you want to proceed with this relationship or not. Number 7. So this red flag is actually a little tricky, because is the guy who seems to have it all, but really doesn't. This is especially true when it comes to his finances. He's probably a high spender and he ends up with no money at the end of the month, or he is racking up his credit cards. And if you start seeing that he just lives a high life, but maybe his job doesn't seem like the type of job that would actually earn him that money, or he just seems to spend more than he should, be wary of that, because he may end up asking you for money at the end. So this is a big sign. So if you see anything like that, this is a red flag. So don't ignore it. Talk to him about it and see what he has to say. But if you guys are just starting out and this is not the type of life that you want to live, then just end it. You don't need to have more stress in your life, especially when it comes to finances. You want someone who is financially stable, who spends, below his means, and it's not like a hot mess, even though he appears to have it all and he has this mask on. So you don't need that, and you can just walk out of that. Okay, so now you know 7 of the red flags that you should never ignore in a relationship. If you are interested in improving and creating a killer dating profile, make sure that you stay tuned for my next video. I'll teach you the steps on how to create a more attractive and appealing profile that will attract many men. So make sure that you watch my next video and you stay tuned for that one. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please make sure that you like it below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share with other single friends. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.